I'm the Global Runner and I'm trying to see if I can still run fast aged 51. So far I've run a 16:01 5k, a 33:02 10k, and now the next step is trying to go under 2:30 in the marathon aged 51. So you may remember that this is the week that follows the 225 kilometre week I did. So Monday I took a rest day, which I hadn't taken in a long time. I don't actually think I massively needed it, but of course it was the right thing to do. So took a rest day Monday and then focused on trying to marry the sort of speed that I have and the endurance that I have with some more sort of tempo runs and threshold runs. And I think that's where the focus is going to be now. We're going to be looking at tempo runs, threshold runs, and on the weekend, particularly on the Sunday, I think we're going to be looking at longer runs with some proper effort, some sort of Canova type sessions. So this week I did a 20-mile progression run, and you'll see in a minute how that went. Overall, I was really happy. The 5 by a mile on Friday went really well, and I followed that up with 30-minute steady state run on tired legs, and that went really well, and you'll see those in a minute. The 25-minute tempo in the 4 hills on Tuesday I did with the extremely tall runner, and then I went out Tuesday evening and did 15 by a minute. I felt a bit crushed after that one, so I took a bit of easy running for like 2 days rather than just one. But overall, super happy with that week. And now let's have a look at some specific sessions during that week. Okay, so I feel like I've got the mileage and I feel like I've definitely got some speed, but I now need to meet in the middle. I need to get the speed endurance. I need to get some threshold running, some tempo running, some marathon pace efforts to sort of marry the two together. So today I'm meeting the extremely tall runner and we're going to do, I think it's a 25-minute tempo and some hills. Let's get the Pro 4s on today. Always really tricky to get the lockdown perfect on these. Like, if you get the perfect lockdown, it's really good, but I don't know. Not as easy as the Pumas, for example. So I can't tell which of these posts are the extremely tall runner. He's got to be one of these. I know, here he is in the background. Shall we? Shall we do it?
Let's do it.
Shall we?
Let's go.
Let's go. So that was the 25-minute tempo, and then these were the 1-minute hills. This is obviously one of them. I picked the last one, so hopefully the effort was still there and the heart rate was still there. I'll show you the entire hill, but I'll speed it up just to the end. So at the end of that 25-minute tempo, we did 4 by 1-minute hills, just to get used to running hills on tired legs because, of course, Central Park is hilly. Done. Happy with that. That was a good one. About 15k with 25 minutes of effort and then 4 hills at the end. Glorious day. Look at that. And then that afternoon, I did 15 by a minute on, a minute off, which was a lot harder than I was expecting, actually. Friday morning, and I want to do 2 sort of thresholdy type sessions today. Well, actually, the first one is sort of threshold, the next one will be a steady state run. But the first one this morning is going to be 5 by a mile with 2 minutes recovery. And I'm hoping I can do them in like 5:30, which is I think 3:25 a kilometre. And hopefully that's very manageable. So I want to start increasing the pace without going insane. So 5:30s hopefully will feel okay. Got the Adidas Pro 4s on today. So let's see how this one goes. Done my warm up. Let's get going. I'm surprisingly nervous for this one. I'm just hoping it goes well. Pace is a very different animal to mileage. So let's see where we're at. Okay, legs feel okay. A little bit tired, but that's all right. I did 5:22 for that first one. The good thing about it was I was 5:30 till about halfway and then picked up. So don't want to go crazy, but that's a good first one. So that was 5:24. Again, sort of wasn't full out, which is the purpose. We can keep them all under 5:30. That'll be a massive success. I like 5 intervals of anything. You do the first one, you're finding the pace. The second one feels, like you're settling in. The third one, it starts to get hard, but then you've only got 2 more. I like that. Okay, that was 5:19, which is obviously way faster than I should be doing, but I'm having fun. So let's just call it what it is. Just having fun. And all of a sudden, we've only got one left. That's another 5:19. So again, this was supposed to be a bit more tempo, but hey, I'm having fun. Okay, that last one was 5:17. So again, faster than it should have been, but it's all right. Faster's all right. I put some heat adaptation training in there, as you can see. That was a hot one. I didn't put the fans on deliberately, just to give that extra little spark. So Garmin told me there was a VO2 max this morning with a 5 by a mile, and then threshold today, which is exactly what I was after. I was hoping to sort of increase the lactate threshold by sort of dragging it up with the VO2 efforts and then pushing it up with this sort of threshold effort. So I think this morning was faster than lactate threshold pace, and this afternoon, I guess, was just a little bit slower. So hopefully we can impact lactate threshold that way. That's the plan anyway, see how it works. Probably need a shower now though. Also, Salt and Pepper kept telling me to push it real good, which is poor advice, I think, and I want to know where Frankie Goes to Hollywood is when you need him. Okay, we're at Lake Louise. It is super early, but already super busy. I'm heading to Moraine Lake. Rather than paying $60 for the bus, I'm going to go and run in. It's only like 13k in and 13k out. And I'm going to do a hike in there. There are these trees called larch trees, which go like a gold, I guess, this time of year. So let's go looking for some of them. Look at the view. We're getting closer. This is the trail I'm running along. And look at that view. Okay, Lake Louise. Eternally busy. So I'm going to start my run here and then head to Castle Junction, which is about 20 miles away. Not as far as last week, but adding in some effort. So let's see where we go there. Let's escape these crowds. So this was a good one. I knew I wanted to go semi-long and not super long, and I had some trails at the start, so I was going to do a fast finish long run. But then I decided that I would turn it into a little bit of progression, and I did that mid-run, and here's where I made that decision. Okay, so I've decided to turn this into a bit of a progression run. So we're going to do 5 miles at any old pace, which I'm about to finish, which will be about 7:30 a mile. Then we're going to do 5 miles at about 7, hopefully. Then 5 miles at 6:30, and then 6 miles at sort of 6 or below. That's the plan anyway. Yeah, and it went well. I was happy with it. As you can see, I was on like a long straight road. It was almost like being in a road marathon. And we were at some serious elevations, so probably about 7,000 feet. But I did generally have a bit of a downhill most of the way, so I was quite happy to have that. And I did the first 5 miles relatively relaxed and then picked up the pace every 5 miles. And by the end, you can see that I was actually moving really fast. So the last 5 miles were all marathon pace or faster. And in fact, you can see that the last 2 miles were half marathon pace. So I was practicing finishing fast, but I actually had progressed quite well throughout the entirety of that run. So that was a run that I was happy with. So that is my week's training. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you very soon. And I can promise you we've got some more big, serious runs coming up in the next video.